Former Minister of Finance arrested for misconduct in public office. Trio who attempted to bribe a police officer appeared in court charged with fraud and other offences. In Region 2, a 500-lot housing scheme is being developed. In the region, retired sprinter Nesta Carter banned for 4 years for positive tests. And internationally, UN appeals for $41 billion to meet 2022 humanitarian needs. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Winston Jordan, the former Minister of Finance under the APNU-AFC administration, was arrested today on allegations of misconduct in public office by the Special Organized Crime Unit. Jordan said he was summoned to the Suku headquarters for questioning, and upon arrival, he was subsequently arrested. He stated that there were no specific questions put forward to him, neither were there any details regarding his arrest. The former finance minister said he was only informed that he was being arrested for misconduct in public office. In October, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal announced that an investigation into the former APNU-AFC government was being conducted. Meanwhile, opposition leader Joseph Harman, in a statement, claims that it is clearly an act of harassment against Mr. Jordan.
A few minutes ago, I received a call from former Minister of Finance, Mr. Winston Jordan, that he was invited down to the Soku, where upon arriving at Soku, he was informed that he was going to be placed on a charge. He was arrested and placed on a charge for misconduct in public office. Now, this is one of the most atrocious pieces of actions by the PPP administration. They had indicated this earlier, but certainly we never believed that they would have gone to such depths to actually file a charge for a matter which is already before the court in a civil jurisdiction, and that is before Justice Brassington Reynolds. So this is, in far as I'm concerned, this is just about harassment of Mr. Jordan. As far as we are concerned, the AP and UAFC are concerned, we have dispatched legal representation for Mr. Jordan, and I want to give him and his family and friends the assurance we will stand solidly behind him. We will ensure that he gets the best legal representation in this matter, and that the plans of the PPP will be thwarted. They are seeking to silence the voices of those who speak out against them. And this will not silence Winston Jordan. In fact, it will bring up many more Winston Jordans who will speak up as loud as Winston Jordan is, and even louder.
While in police custody, Jordan reported feeling unwell and had to be taken to the Pleasance Health Center for medical attention. The 3 persons who were held last week for attempting to bribe a police officer appeared in the Diamond Magistrates Court to address that accusation, as well as a fraudulent allegation. Esther Sobers has more.
3 persons appeared in the Diamond Magistrates Court on Tuesday, December 1st, on charges of fraud. The 3 accused 34-year-old Vishal Munilal of Houston East Bank Demerara, 37-year-old Vikram Munilal of Houston East Bank Demerara, and 26-year-old Deodat Audit of Gordon Street, Kitty, Georgetown, appeared before Magistrate Judy Lodgman to answer to obtaining money by false pretense, committed on Robin Boswick of Eccles East Bank, Demerara. The accused were arrested on November 27th and charged for the offense, which occurred in February 2017 at Lot 209 Section Block Y Grove, East Bank, Demerara. The trio pleaded not guilty to the charges. They were placed on $100,000 bail each. The matter was postponed to the 4th of January 2022 for a report. Meanwhile, on the same day, 2 of the accused, Vishal Munilal and Deodat Audit, made another appearance in the Diamond Magistrates Court along with 25-year-old Kolwati Munilal of Houston East Bank, Demerara. They appeared before Magistrate Judy Lodgman to answer the charges of corrupt transaction with an agent committed on public justice at Golden Grove Diamond Police Station on November 27th. Reports are that after being accused and arrested on fraud charges, the two males attempted to bribe the investigating officer with $700,000 cash to forego prosecution against them. While in custody, the woman brought a package suspected to be the bribe money and handed it to the accused. They all pleaded not guilty and were placed on $40,000 cash bail each. The matter was then postponed for the 4th of January 2022 for the report. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Stick around after the break. A 500-lot housing scheme is being developed in Region 2, and Ministry of Education and Ministry of Health collaborate to help numerous students with special needs.
Shop at John Lewis Styles in December and you could win one Amazon Fire tablet every day. Yes, every day. And that's not all. 4 persons will win $500,000 to spend in the store. Just imagine, $500,000 to spend on clothing, footwear, watches, fragrances, handbags, luggage and accessories. So shop now at John Lewis Styles to win one Amazon tablet every day and $500,000 to spend in the store. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop price smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Kingdom-based taxi service, transportation for every occasion. Short drop, airport, weddings, funerals, and much more. We're located at Lot H. Durbin and Vicingen Road, next to Green City Bar. For honest, efficient, and reliable service, call Kingdom-based taxi service at 648-5959 or 227-7937. You can count on us.
Welcome back. On Wednesday, the Ministries of Education and Health teamed up to assist several students with special needs. The two ministries distributed wheelchairs in an effort to ensure that differently abled students could continue to learn and grow. The initiative was executed to mark the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, which will be observed on Friday, December 3rd, 2021, under the theme Leadership and Participation of Persons with Disabilities Towards an Inclusive, Accessible and Sustainable Post-COVID-19 World. The wheelchairs were given to 3 students from Regions 2, 5, and 10 who were identified via outreaches by the Regional Special Education Needs, Disability and Diagnostic Center. A 500-lot housing scheme has been developed in Region 2, Pomeroon, Supernam. The new charity housing scheme will facilitate 400 house lots, which will be for homeowners, and a 100 lots for commercial and industrial purposes. On Sunday, the senior minister in the office of the president, Dr. Rashni Singh, visited the scheme to have a first-hand look at the area.
This is going to be an incredibly exciting development because it's going to provide, ultimately it's going to lead to 400 families being able to have their own home in this area. And in that regard, I want to say, in fact, I should mention that there's tremendous demand for house lots in Region 2. In fact, so far, just for this year, we've already distributed 700 house lots just in Region 2 alone.
Dr. Singh relayed that the government's housing program has been exceptional, with thousands of young people being able to become homeowners. He said this can be seen by examining communities such as the Parkway Harmony West Bank Demerara and Diamond Grove East Bank Demerara.
We intend to continue rolling out this housing program aggressively. As you know, we have committed to distributing, I think it's 10,000 house lots per annum. You have seen the energy and vigor with which the Ministry of Housing has already set about implementing His Excellency's mandate in this regard.
Regional Chairperson Ms. Velma De Silva said that land preparation has already commenced despite the inclement weather. De Silva said the region is maximizing periods of favorable weather. She said after land clearing, infrastructural works has to be done before residents take up their lots. However, the lands have already been allocated to persons. Don't go away. After the break, retired sprinter Nesta Carter banned for 4 years for positive tests, and Uganda launches air and artillery raids against ADF in DRC. But before that, here's the bridge retraction schedule.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
For decades, milk has remained the same. Until now. Introducing the Great Dairy Full Cream Milk from Alabama Trading. Enriched with vitamins A to D and calcium to promote healthy teeth, strong bones, and vitality. Great Dairy Milk is delicious and fortified to encourage healthy cell growth within the body. No wonder it's the #1 brand of milk produced in Ireland. Now available nationwide in 400-gram packages at leading supermarkets and wholesale vendors. Distributed by Alabama Trading.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now. Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. Nesta Carter, a retired sprinter from Jamaica, has been banned for 4 years for using prohibited substance clomiphene, according to the country's independent anti-doping disciplinary panel. Clomiphene has been discovered as an unlisted component in black market items offered on the internet for performance enhancement. The 36-year-old Carter tested positive for the chemical in an out-of-competition test in March of this year, carrying a potential suspension of 8 years. Carter received a 3-month suspension in 2017 after testing positive for a stimulant in a retroactive test of a sample obtained at the 2008 Olympics. As a result of that judgment, Usain Bolt and Jamaica lost their 4x100 meter relay gold medals at the Beijing Olympics. However, Carter and his teammates retained their gold medals from the sprint relay at the 2012 London Olympics. Carter announced his retirement from track and field in August, citing injuries and an unidentified medical issue that is worsening as reasons for his inability to compete at his customary level. Carter's long career was highlighted by his gold medals as a member of the 4x100 meter relay team that established a world record of 36.84 seconds at the 2012 London Olympics. Internationally, the Ugandan military has launched air and artillery raids against the Allied Democratic Force armed groups in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo in an operation agreed with Congolese forces, Al Jazeera's Malcolm Webb reports.
Ugandan troops, tanks and armoured vehicles have crossed the border into Democratic Republic of Congo. The two governments say they're going to hunt down an armed group called the Allied Democratic Forces, or ADF. The Ugandan government blames the ADF for 3 suicide bombings in Uganda's capital Kampala 2 weeks ago. Several people died, dozens were injured. It's not the first time Uganda's army has been in Congo. It invaded 25 years ago along with Rwanda. It's been accused of plundering minerals and meddling on and off ever since.
We've seen in the past that Uganda has not always had the best interest of the Congolese population in mind, nor did it really want to stabilize the Eastern DRC. But what we've seen now is that apparently President Tshisekedi has given the green light to this operation, which gives it a bit of a different character than previous interventions by the Ugandans in Eastern DRC.
The ADF originated in Uganda in the 1990s, but for 3 decades it's hidden in the forests of eastern Congo, profiting from timber and minerals. 2 years ago it pledged allegiance to ISIL, although the extent of the connection isn't clear. In recent years it's become notorious for massacring thousands of civilians in villages around the city of Beni. People of North Kivu province are tired of the violence. Congo's army said it would stop the killings. It introduced martial law in the region 6 months ago, but it hasn't worked. That's why some people are now welcoming the Ugandan army's arrival. Others are skeptical.
The first thing that the population is looking for is protection. They want the massacre to end. And that can be only possible if the protection of civilians is the first objective.
It's not clear how easily the ADF can be flushed out of its forest hideouts or how long the Ugandan army plans to stay. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera.
And finally, the United Nations says it will require a record amount of $41 billion next year to meet humanitarian needs around the world. The coronavirus pandemic, climate change, and conflicts are pushing more of the world's affected states to the edge of famine, Al Jazeera's James Bay reports.
The humanitarian situation around the world was already the worst it's been at any time in recent years. But now the UN says it's deteriorating even more. In 2022, it's estimated that 274 million people will be in need of humanitarian assistance, a 17% rise. And the UN is appealing for a record amount for its annual appeal, $41 billion. The UN's Under-Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs, Martin Griffiths, struggled when asked to name the worst crisis.
I think Ethiopia is the most concerning. I mean, it's a terrible thing to have to choose between, places of such great need. South Sudan is at its worst, and it barely gets a mention. You'll remember when Haiti had that extraordinary earthquake back in the middle of August. It didn't make the news for that week because, of course, the Taliban were walking into Kabul on that time. So it feels somewhat improper somehow to choose among these places.
In some of the humanitarian emergencies, for example, Somalia or the Democratic Republic of Congo, the situation has been bad for decades and it's not getting any better. In some places, though, in 2021, notably Ethiopia, Myanmar and Afghanistan, things got much worse.
A flash appeal for Afghanistan in September was a success. It's now over 100% funded. But the collapse of the economy, coupled with the worst drought for over 30 years, means much more funding is now needed. More and more Afghans are struggling to survive, here selling their clothes on the street, in a country where it's estimated the price of bread has gone up 80% in just a few months. James Bays, Al Jazeera at the United Nations.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. Tune in on Friday at 5:30 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.